This past weekend, a ton of things happened in the multi-tool world, and we'll jump right into it. The first thing, and what this video is about today, is the Leatherman Alpha. Now, a bunch of things dropped about that over the weekend, and especially, I guess it was yesterday, apples to oranges. He said that someone dropped some pictures on Reddit, and you can see those now on the screen, about the brand new Leatherman Alpha. Now, when I went on Reddit and when several other people went on Reddit, you could not see any pictures. And so while the pictures look cool, I wasn't sure, who knows if someone had generated AI or what was going on. A lot of questions. But then yesterday on Reddit, the pictures you now see on the screen dropped as well. And it seemed to essentially prove that this is indeed perhaps the Leatherman Alpha. And what it looks like is very similar to the Swiss Tech, where they're going to emphasize, if they keep it like the pictures, these pivots on the top, and then they'll have some pretty heavily textured G10 handles for the Leatherman Alpha, which essentially looks like a charge that's labeled as a wave. Now, what convinced me that the Leatherman Alpha leaked pictures are true more than anything was that if you go to Grady's Great Outdoors and you type in Wave Alpha, they come in with the wave up with the Wave Alpha Obsidian multi-purpose pliers. And then, as you can see on the screen, they talk about this is the ultimate evolution of our best seller with MagnaCut blade, sculptured G10 handles, large scissors, and enhanced ergonomics. And it seems like that's most of what they talk about. They talk about the G10, or the knife rather, has a thumb stud, which we already saw in the pictures. But yeah, it seems to back up these pictures that we saw on Reddit. So it definitely seems like that is coming. And then from the Leatherman Reddit post, it looks like the MagnaCut blade will definitely be on the Alpha. Not only that, but it will be sheep's foot as well. So the blade will be upgraded, and then also the profile will change as well. And it looks like a pretty nice long blade from what I see right there. And it looks like the plier head remains the same. A lot of the architecture isn't necessarily changing. It looks like they're just adding some features. But the one big thing that we've mentioned that does seem to be changing is they will finally be adding a large pair of scissors in the outside slot. Now, a lot of these tool companies overseas have already done this for a very long time. This is a SQT version that I actually put Leatherman charge scales on. You can slightly modify it and fit Leatherman charge scales on this. These charge scales were on Etsy, so I put them on my SQT. Anyway, this is the scissors that came on that Leatherman charge clone, and so it seems like Leatherman will now be doing this. I think that's good because people love the Surge, they love the Wingman scissors, and finally Leatherman will be upgrading their Wave series for that. So MagnaCut, scissors, and then it definitely seems like they're keeping the file from the pictures I get, and then either, I'm guessing they'll keep the saw blade rather than the serrated blade. But it is pretty hard to tell from the pictures if the saw or the serrated blade will be kept. So I guess we'll have to see. I haven't done any really deep dive into these pictures, blown them up a huge amount, but from the one side, it does look like the file is definitely being kept with these. Now, when we look at the Leatherman Wave Alpha, it looks like the G10 scales are very pronounced. I would call them topographical. They remind me very much of a topographical map. These are G10 scales from overseas. This is the Decoyu multi-tool that has a G10 scales. You can tell they're very flat. And these are printed. These are plastic, not G10. So while I don't own any of Leatherman's G10 charge series myself. It does seem like this new one will be even extra and above what Leatherman has done in the past, which is a lot more textured than just like these flat G10 scales, but it's even a step above what they have done. So we'll have to see. It's supposed to be more ergonomic, I guess, better able to grip. Perhaps that will be the case. It does seem like it may protrude a little bit more than one would want for the multi-tool, but we'll see when we actually get it in the hand. But overall, it looks very nice. Recently, I've been taking the Leatherman Free P2. This is the P4, but the P2 version to work. And I have to say, I have fallen in love with the Free series all over again. It's just a wonderful tool, and it's a lot better than I remembered. It is a really, really great tool that Leatherman has come up with, and I love to use it at work. Works great. So having said all that, it does not look like Leatherman is changing this Alpha into anything like the Free series. These will still be inside tools. You'll have to open the handle up just like the Wave. It looks like it has almost the exact same locking mechanism. It will be essentially the same thing as the Wave, but it does beg the question, if the scissors are on the outside, what will they do with the spot where the scissors are? So I'm assuming maybe they will put the awl in there. Some people have been hoping for that in the Leatherman Wave, so that might be a good possibility that will change. We'll have to see, but essentially it looks like the Wave and the Charge are being combined into one platform, and they're calling it a brand new tool, making a couple changes, the MagnaCut, the scissors, the G10 scales. I think it's still a great move by Leatherman. It definitely stirs up some excitement. Now, according to Reddit, the rumor mill says that this will be released in the next month or two, very soon. And it does seem that these leaks are happening perhaps on purpose, that Leatherman has seen the backlash to the knives. I think Leatherman feels like the making knives is the right business decision, but to keep the base happy of the Leatherman fan base, rather, they're trying to release these pictures to say, hey, there is a multi-tool coming soon, don't despair. But the knives, they see as the biggest advantage for their company, I think. So I think that had to get the biggest PR move to try to get people excited about it, because they really need to sell these knives to ensure their financial future. I think that's what Leatherman thinks. They don't really care what we think, but I think that's what they think about it. And so then to keep the base happy, the fan base, they are trying to release tidbits of information about the Wave Alpha, because some of these pictures are very specific and they seem to give a lot away. And then even online, it does seem like Leatherman has prepped their retailers for delivery of this Wave Alpha fairly soon. So I have to keep waiting. There are lots of cool news items about multi-tools this week. Keep watching the channel, because I can't wait to share next what I have as well coming up in tomorrow's video.